Hello everyone, my name is Charlie and welcome back to a brand new Doctor Who YouTube video. This is in fact my second video of the day, which is extremely unnatural for me considering usually I do videos bi-weekly or sometimes weekly. But yes, I've done two videos in one day because if you haven't watched my video from earlier today, then essentially I've done barely any videos. Last month I did one video in May, which was a channel update saying how many videos I'm going to do, and that I'm just going to be doing fan series videos, which I seem to have denied both of those rules over the course of May and today, so that is just great. Anyway, so today's video is essentially going to be a collection update. So I did a full collection review in January of this year. I'm planning on making January my collection update month. Not collection update, collection review months, and then collection updates are just small amounts of Doctor Who stuff that I've collected since the last collection update. I plan on doing one this month and maybe after my birthday, in like September or something. So yeah, we'll have a see about that. But anyway, if you haven't seen my video earlier today, I would definitely recommend it. It is an interesting style of video where essentially I give users three options of what my Big Finish unboxing could be, and then I ask them to comment below what they think it will be, and then it is revealed, and if they get it right, then, well, they can be happy that they got it right. And that's going to feature in this video, so if you haven't seen that other video, go and check it out. Now we've got all that beginning fluff out the way, let's get into this video, and I hope you enjoy. So, firstly, we have Doctor Who Magazine. I am a subscriber of Doctor Who Magazine. It gets delivered to my house every 4 weeks, and I'm building quite the collection. Now, these are obviously just going to be ones from 2021, since it's all the merch since January. So here we go. First one, DWM 560, really interesting. It's all about the Master. It's got some great things. It's got the Curse of Fatal Death for Fact or Fiction. It's got the Curse of the Dragon, the comic strip that goes on in DWM Part 2, I believe. And yeah, it's got the like the World Cup of Master stories. It's pretty interesting. I quite like it. So next we have DWM 561, the February version, and it's all about the Target books because there's loads of Target releases around that time, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. Again, I can't remember much about the Fact of Fiction. I believe it's Underworld, which isn't an amazing story, but yeah, I can imagine that's quite interesting. Lots of the stuff in these I don't really remember, and that wasn't a very memorable issue, to be honest. My favourite issue this year, issue 562. This is brilliant. It is all about the artwork of Doctor Who, the covers, the VHS, even back in the VHS days it was talking about that, and it's fascinating stuff. I really enjoyed that, and it's got the Fact of Fiction is Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, which I've always had a bit of a soft spot for, so it was nice seeing some appreciation for that story. Next we have DWM 563, which was around the release of Ravagers, the Ninth Doctor Adventures. It's all about the Ninth Doctor, more or less. It's got first part of a big interview with Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, great release, I love it. Next we have DWM 564, the DWM for May. It's all about the 8th Doctor, because it's obviously 25 years now since the TV movie and the 8th Doctor was released. This one actually doesn't have a comic strip, however it does have the Ambassadors of Death parts 1 through 4 as its Fact of Fiction, and it has loads of stuff like 8th Doctor merch, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And finally, for DWM, we have 565. This is a very new edition. I only got it on Friday the 29th of May. This is obviously the edition for June, and it is all about the season 24, most notably Dragonfire. It's got Ambassadors of Death 5 through 7 as its Fact of Fiction, and yeah, this is a pretty cool release. I'm only like halfway through reading it or something, because it takes a while to read these. There's loads and loads and loads of words on a page. For example, like here, this is like one page, it's crazy. So yes, that is it for DWM. Next we have books. Well, book I suppose, because it's just the one. I got this with DWM 561, the Target one I told you about for February, and it's Doctor Who and the Library of Time. It is essentially little bits, like little extracts, usually from the start, of 7 different Target releases that are being released. It features extracts from The Pirate Planet, Resurrection of the Daleks, Revelation of the Daleks, the TV movie Dalek, The Crimson Horror, and The Witchfinders. I really enjoy it. I just find it slightly annoying how it didn't follow on, but obviously it's essentially an advertisement, really. It hasn't really worked for me since I haven't got any of the Target books yet. That's just because I'm focusing my priorities on DVDs, and now, to an extent, Big Finish, now that I've collected a significant amount of DVDs. I'm really sorry I can't speak today. I think it must be from the heat or something. It's insanely hot here. It's like 25, 26 degrees. It's boiling. Anyway, 3 Big Finish audios. Yeah, this is the part where it's essentially a spoiler from my video earlier today. So 3.1 is Destiny of the Doctor, The Time Machine. So this actually belonged to my sister until she gave it to me a few days ago. She, years ago she used to be a Whovian like me, but eventually grew out of it. And yes, here it is. It's part of the Destiny of the Doctor range that Big Finish did for the 50th anniversary, and it's essentially got a story from each Doctor of the first 11 Doctors. And this one is about it's called The Time Machine. It's essentially about a person at, I believe it's like Oxford University or something, who creates a time machine, and the Doctor finds it, and yeah, they have an adventure. I haven't listened to it yet. I remember listening to it years ago. She lent it to me for a bit, but yeah, I'm planning on listening to it again. I do remember enjoying it quite a bit. And for the other Big Finish thing, the highlight of my collection of Big Finish stuff at the moment is Companion Chronicles, the First Doctor, Volume 1. This arrived earlier today, and I've already started listening to the first story in it, The Sleeping Blood by Martin Day. It's brilliant. I love everything about this. I might even make a review of it on my other channel. Yeah, absolutely love this. It's a brilliant box set. Yeah. So finally we have DVDs, the main sort of staple of my Doctor Who collection. I've got about 70 of them now, quite a few of which I've gained in the last few months since January, so here they are. I'm not going to talk about too much about each one, however much I want to. So we've got the Claws of Axos Season 8 story. I decided to, build up my Season 8 collection around the time of the Blu-ray release. If I can't afford £200 for Blu-ray release on eBay, I might as well get the DVDs. Claws of Axos, yeah, great story. I love the Claws of Axos. It's criminally underrated. Colony in Space, I feel the same way about. It's a brilliant story. People say there's too much politics. I agree. However, I don't let that distract me from the fact it's a really interesting story. 4.3, Day of the Daleks. This is the first story in Season 9, my only story in Season 9. Yeah, it's really good. I watched this in a one actually, and which, is fairly unusual for me. Usually I watch an episode a day of a story. Yeah, I love Day of the Daleks. It's a brilliant one. Next up we have The Invasion of Time, a huge leap to the Season 15 finale. Haven't watched this one yet, to be honest. I only got it a couple of months ago. It seems to be quite good, though. I've heard some mixed things about it, but I tend to like stories that people dislike. I'll talk about that in a minute when I get to Season 24. So next to Season 17 we've got City of Death, one of the most highly regarded Doctor Who stories of all time, and I'm really looking forward to watch this one. I've not watched it yet because it came a couple of months ago along with Invasion of Time and a few others, but yeah, it looks pretty good. 5 Doctors, the 20th anniversary story for Doctor Who. In 1983 it was with the, well, it's about 3.5 Doctors, since 4 doesn't appear and 1 only appears as a recast, but yeah, this one's quite good actually. Next up we have A Resurrection of the Daleks, and I feel like I'm going to commit some sort of Doctor Who heresy here when I say I do not like this. I just think it's one of the weaker 80s Dalek stories. Revelation and Remembrance are much better than it, and yeah, it's not great, sorry. Next up we have The Caves of Androzani, which I got a couple of months ago along with Resurrection, 5 Doctors, Invasion of Time and City of Death. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. I love The Caves of Androzani. It's really, really good. There's not much else to say about it, to be honest, especially since this video is turning out to be over 10 minutes long, which I didn't really plan, but oh well. Next we've got The Two Doctors, a Season 22 story, which it's okay. It only arrived a few weeks ago actually. I watched it then, and yeah, it's really good. Well, I say really good. The second Doctor and Jamie are really good. Six, I'm not a fan of Six and Perry in this, I've got to admit. The Sontarans, you know, the plot itself is a bit weird but cool, much like Lost of Season 22, to be honest. Yeah, this is a decent story. Next we got Time in the Rani, the infamous first story in Season 24 that everyone seems to hate. Yeah, I don't like this one, it's quite bad. I agree with the general consensus here for once. Paradise Towers. I adore this story, and I don't get why everyone hates it, it's really good. And finally we have Delta and the Bannermen, well not finally, sorry. But yeah, we got Delta and the Bannermen here. I genuinely really enjoy this story. Again, it's a weird one, but it's quite fun, just like lots of the McCoy era. It's fun, not to be taken seriously, more comedy than sci-fi, to be honest. It's pretty good. And finally, a New Who thing. I actually found this in a charity shop a few weeks ago. And yeah, it's New Who Series 7, which is a bit of a weird opinion, but I think this is the best season of New Who. I'm just waiting for all the dislikes, but yeah, I love this one. It's really good. I've not actually watched it on DVD yet, but I've decided to get some New Who because it was removed from Netflix. It used to have all of New Who except seasons 11 and 12, and then it just denied them. So yeah, unfortunate, isn't it? So yes, that is all I've got for today's video. Please comment below with your opinions on your favourite one of these releases, and maybe even your opinions on the First Doctor Companion Chronicles Volume 1. I would be very curious to hear your opinions on that, seeing as how much I love The Sleeping Blood. I just want to know what you guys thought of it. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, everyone. Please make sure you go and check out my video from earlier today, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.